Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here, and we are continuing our series that we are doing high yielding life. How do you make your life a high yielding life? How do you make your life a high yielding life? How do you become a high yielding person? Please go share this message with your friends and family members. One of the building blocks that we are going to add to this subject on how to be a high yielding person is faith. Focus on faith. Live a life of faith. If you want your life to be a high yielding life, if you want to be a high yielding person, you need to live a life of faith. A life of faith means that things will not always be ready whenever you want them. Things will not always be there. Whatever you want to do will not always be ready for you, and you will not always have everything you need to do what you wish to do. So, which means that you have to you'll be required to step out by faith and just believe God and live mainly by the things you have not seen yet. You need to learn to live by the things that you plan to do, by the vision of the future, rather than by the availability of resources for today. So you live by not by resources, but by the understanding, by the vision, by the sketch in your mind, by the vision in your heart, by the projections in your spirit, by the things you see ahead of you. The ability to live by those invisible realities, it is what is called faith. The ability to walk with things that you have not seen physically, by the ability to be able to see into the future, to be able to live by that future that you are seeing, is faith. So anybody that is going to be a high yielding person will have to be a person of faith. The people that you hear about today all over the world who have accomplished great things, the reason they have accomplished those great things is because they are actually people of faith. They don't depend on what they have seen or what they have right now to be able to take a decision or to be able to step out or to begin to do something. The person that built the first airplane, he had to step up by faith. Why? Because nobody ever did the airplane before. He had to see it in his own mind, in the invisible realm, in the realm of faith. And that faith that he can build it, that faith that there is something that he is seeing that nobody else is seeing, that is going to have a flying car, flying motor, flying object, that he will build it and it will fly. It is that faith that propelled him to go and begin to do something. And so that is what faith is. People who will ever become high yielding, people who will ever become highly significant in life, people who will become highly productive will always need faith. Faith is the key to actually become great in this life, either in real life or with God. With God, you need faith. And even as ordinary human being, you need faith as well. Faith is needed for every human endeavor. Even the house where we are right now, before this house came about, before it was built, somebody imagined it in the spirit realm or in the mental realm. So it is what they saw in the realm of the spirit or in the realm of faith that they drew as to give to the architect, that the architect drew into paper and sketched down, and that is what later on the laborers used to build this physical house that we are saying. Before this house was built in the physical, when there was nothing in this territory, in this piece of land, when it was only a bunch of bush and trees, then somebody had imagined something in his mind. That thing imagined in his mind was not physical. That is faith. It is by faith he was able to see that thing in his mind, and it is what he sees in his mind that is able to bring about a life by action, by drawing it first of all, and then by actually bringing the bricks and building it. So that is the way to become great in life. This is the way to live to become a high yielding person. A high yielding person is always seeing something ahead of him that nobody is seeing. A high yielding person is not stopping by what has already been created. When you live by what has already been created, what is already available, that means that you are not living by faith, you are living by fact. And those people who live by fact, they don't do anything new. They don't invent anything. They don't create anything. They don't innovate anything, because they are satisfied that just living by the things that other people have created. But anything you see, somebody else has who created it only by faith, by first of all seeing it in the spirit realm, in the realm where it never existed in the physical, and believing, having faith that it will be able to produce that, having faith in what he saw in his spirit realm, and then walking to bring it to pass into the physical realm. That is the only reason why you have what you have. Anything, be it your iPad, be it your telephone, be it your bag, be it your clothes, be it your suit, so anything that you see, somebody had seen it first in his mental realm, in the realm of faith, and didn't give up. He kept on working for it. He kept on working towards it. And thanks to his faith that he will produce it, that he will not give up, and the faith to persevere, the faith to be persistent. It is that faith that now makes us to be able to see that thing in the physical, because he actually produced the result, and thanks to the result is why, to his faith, we can now see the result of his faith in the physical realm. So the Bible says that the just shall live by faith. For me and you to live in this world, God doesn't want you to live by the things that are already done by other men, because we come from the spirit realm, and God knows that we all have the ability to see into the future, to see into the spirit. And it is when we only live by those things that are yet to be done, that have not yet been established, those things that are ahead of us, those things are in the future. When we live by those things in the future, when we follow, when we seek those things in the future, that and we bring them to the physical realm, it is the ability to see the things into the spirit realm and live for them and draw them, by work. It is that ability that makes us to be just. The just shall live by faith. So it is only people who are living by faith that are qualified to be just or to be righteous in this kingdom. So the just, the righteous people in this kingdom are the ones who live by faith. And what does it mean to live by faith? To live by the invisible, to live by the things that are not yet done, things that you are seeing in the spirit realm. And the fact that it's not just enough for you to see something in the spirit realm, but the fact that you believe is confirmed by your actions. It is your actions that now show to us that you actually believe in what you are saying. So how do we know that you have faith? We see you doing something. Faith is always doing something. Faith is always performing. Faith is always in action. So the fact that you are always in action, I say, why are you walking like that? Because you are seeing something that nobody else is saying. You want to bring to pass what you are saying. What you are saying in the spirit realm, you are walking towards it. That is faith. The fact that you are walking towards it confirms that you have faith. But if you just say you are saying something and then you are not walking towards it, you are a dreamer. That is a dream. You are just dreaming that the thing will come to pass. Not who will bring it to pass. Angels? No. God? No. God has given you mind. He has given you abilities. He has given you skills. He has given you hand. He has given you mind. He has given you head. So the fact that you are seeing something and you are pursuing it, you are working hard to make it be accomplished, to make it be manifested, that is the evidence of faith. So if you look at Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, you will see the description or the definition of faith in that passage. Hebrews 11 verse 1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. So you hope for something and you are producing substance. Until I see your substance that you are producing, I don't believe you that you have faith. So the faith is when you begin to produce substance in regards to what you see ahead or what you hope for. So to live by faith is to see something ahead, what you are hoping to get. That thing you are hoping to get, you are doing something towards it right now. You are producing substance, the work you are doing. Okay, for example, the person who first dreamt of producing airplanes, if he had just been dreaming and sitting down in his bed, nothing will ever happen. But he goes to risk his life, started making experiments. All those experiments he's doing, all those researches he's doing, the laboratory work he's doing, all those things, those are the substance. He's producing the substance towards what he hopes to get. He hopes to get a plane, but right now he's producing substance that will that result that he is hoping for. That is what it means to live by faith. So when God now says that the just shall live by faith, it means that we who want to say we are just people or who want to be just before God must always look towards or look for some plans that God has in his mind, some things that God has in the spirit realm and that we see. And the more we see, we must always look towards God to see his plans, to see his visions, to see his expectations. And the more we see, the more we are working to bring them to pass. When we are living by that accomplishment, by the desire to accomplish new things on a daily basis, the desire to bring forth new things from God, to bring forth new things from the spirit realm, that desire, that ability to be working on daily basis to bring down into manifestation things that we are seeing in the spirit realm, that is what it means to live by faith. And when we live like that, that is when we are justified. The just shall live by faith. We become just when we live like that, when we live by the things that are yet to be produced, by the things that are in future, rather than by the things that are already here. So the just shall live by faith, by the invincible word. But what is the connection between what I've just explained now, faith and greatness and a high yielding lifestyle? A high yielding person is always always living by the vision that he has. He's always living by the expectation that he has. He's always seeing something ahead. He's always having some plan or the other. He's always seeing something that nobody else is seeing. He's always seeing to God. He's always seeing to the mind of God, into the spirit. He's always seeing new things that he has to create. He's always looking around and seeing new things that could be created or something that could be improved. And he's always working through them to bring them to pass. And that is what confirms is. That is not a dreamer. A dreamer is the person who always only sees something and always dreams about doing them, but he never does anything. But a person of faith, he sees, and is not only seeing, he's producing substance by working. He's doing, it's working. So faith, therefore, is the substance that you are producing in regards to what you see that you want to do. So for you, whoever you see that become grace, there is nobody that ever become grace without living by faith. Like, for example, someone like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, why did he leave university? He left university. Why? Because he believed that he could produce a new set of computer, a new generation of computer. He believed so much that he even abandoned his university education to be able, and I think the same thing with Bill Gates. Bill Gates too, he believed so much in what he was seeing in the spirit realm, in the invisible realm, even though nobody had ever done these things before. But they believed in this, they have so much faith that they would lock themselves up in their garage and be working. They were producing evidence of the thing that they were hoping to see. These people were living by faith. So anybody that has ever become great, anybody that has ever become a high yielding person, the real secret of being a high yielding person is to live by faith, is to see something that nobody else is saying, is to see something ahead and work towards it. For example, what I have done here in Ukraine is that I always identify people who are down and out, drug addicts, alcoholics, homeless bums, and I always see in them something positive. I always see in them the image and likeness of God. So I begin to walk with them because I have faith. So the fact that I didn't abandon them, I go and embrace them, bring them close to me. I begin to teach them, and by teaching them, I am unveiling the greatness that I have seen in them, that I'm supposed to be manifested in through them. I begin to see them as precious. I begin to see them as businessmen, as politicians, as skilled people. I begin to, wash the dirt off them. I begin to polish them, and by the time you know it, you will see testimonies of thousands of people who used to be so bad and so down and out that now they are telling you stories that are absolutely impossible to believe. What does that mean? That is faith. That is how faith works. So faith doesn't bypass the drunks and the bombs and the drug addicts and say, I just want to go get the normal people. If you are going to get the normal people, that is already not faith, because the normal people are already ready. They are ready made already. They don't need your help. But the people that are down and out, are drug addicts, are alcoholic, it takes faith for you to see that they will become normal people, that they will become family people, that so the ability to see beyond the present, the ability to see what other people are not saying, the ability to see something that is not visible yet, that is not practical yet, that and to walk towards it, that is producing a substance. It's a substance of what you are hoping for. So on one hand, you are hoping for something. On the other hand, you are walking towards that thing. That is faith. So faith is the substance, is the work you are doing towards the hope that you are having. So that I think that example is clear enough. That is how you become great. That is how you become a high yielding person. Because almost everything in life is requires faith. Even for you to wake up in the morning and go to work, you have to have faith that you will get there. That's why you wake up in the morning and get up. If you are too afraid that there is a lion in the street and that is going to consume you when you wake up when you get out, you will never go. So, but the fact that you wake up to go to that job, that is faith. The fact that you are working every day, that they will give you salary at the end of the month, that is also faith. So it is faith that makes us to do most of the things we do in life. But what these are the ordinary level of faith, right? The elementary understanding of faith. But the real faith that makes you to be just is the faith that you have in relations to what things that are already in God, the things that are in the spirit realm. When you are able to see into God, when you are able to see things that are hidden in God, things that are in the spirit realm, things that are not just ordinary, that you can calculate with your mind on ordinarily like that. But when you are able to see into God like that, then you become just, because God is invisible. And when you're able to see into God and be able to partner with Him and walk with Him and be able to bring things from the invisible world to the physical realm, that is faith. That is why God says you are righteous. So that is on one hand. So even in the natural world, all the people who are high yielding, they are high yielding because they are always seeing. They are constantly seeing something that nobody else is seeing, and they are constantly working towards it. So high yielding life demands for you to be a person of faith, a person that is focused not on things that are happening, because things that are happening sometimes are contrary. Things that are happening sometimes are discouraging. Things that are happening around you sometimes they don't push you forward. They have actually, the whole world is made in such a way that you will not see anything in the spirit realm. The whole world is made in such a way that you only see things that are visible, that you only see things that are obvious. The whole world is made in such a way that you only be sensual and only be relating to the things that are material and that are tangible and that you could feel and see and with your physical eyes. But what we are talking about when we talk about faith is the ability for you to supersede the physical, the ephemerical things that are around you, the ephemerical things that you see, the ephemerical things that are everywhere, to be able to go beyond sense, to be able to go beyond feelings, to be able to go beyond tangible, to be able to go beyond all these things that are screaming at you into your ears, into your eyes, to be able to connect with your spirit man, and to be able to, through your spirit man and through your spirit eyes, see something beyond what everybody else is saying. That ability is what we call faith. And then to work towards it and bring it to pass. This works in the area of politics, because for you to be able to build a country, a better country, you must be able to see that better country that you want to build. For you to be able to make money too, you must be able to see that ability to be able to make that money. So in everything, for you to be a high yielding person, to even be able to write a book, you must be able to see the content of that book before you write it, and to release it, you must be able to also see how it's going to, even though things are not seen yet, you've not seen these things yet, these things are not obviously there yet, but you are still walking towards them, you are still pursuing them, is the evidence of things not seen. There are a lot of things that you don't see, but the ability to be able to believe that you will get there, that they are there for you, waiting for you, that is faith. You walk towards it, you produce the evidence that you believe. You must produce the evidence that you believe in. So the evidence of things not seen, that is faith. In that same Hebrews chapter 11, in verse 2, it says, "For by faith, the elders, people who went before us, obtained a good report," good testimony. The elders obtain good report by faith. So it is anything that is good that we see all around us, it is all thanks to faith. People believed that they could do something. People believed that they could make cars when there was nothing like cars. So it is faith that made them to get the good report. Any good report you see, even husband and wife, you have to believe that you have a good family. That's why you form the family. You have to believe that your God will bless you with a child. So everything, that any good report that you see comes through faith, because you've got to believe before you do it. You've got to see something, imagine something, expect something before you walk towards it. If you become a husband and wife and you say God will give you children and you never really mate, you never really, become intimate with each other, it will never happen, because you become intimate because you believe that something will come out of that. So it is through faith that we have good report. But then when it comes to God also, when it comes to spiritual things, the Bible says in that same Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6 that without faith it's impossible to please God. Let me read that for you. He said, but without faith it is impossible to please him. Without faith it is impossible to please God. Why? Because God is not visible. God is not physically, tangibly present here. So you've got to, by faith, see him, or by faith believe in him that he's there. So without faith you cannot even contact God. Without faith you cannot even believe that he's there. Without faith you cannot even know that you can have relationship with him. Without faith, a relationship with God is impossible, because you've got to believe that he's there. Then you reach out to him. And the same thing, for you to get anything from him, or to please him, or to work for him, or to live for him, you've got to always see him before you. So the greatest faith that we could exercise on a daily basis is to always see God beside us, to always see God with us. That is the highest amount of faith. The highest amount of faith is to be able to imagine God with you, to be able to consciously walk with God, to open your consciousness and to always see God beside you and talk to him and walk with him. Personal relationship with God, personal walk with God demands faith. Without faith it's impossible to please God, for he that comes to God must believe that he is. You must know that he is. Then when you know that he is, then you reach out to him, you can touch him, then he can reward you. He rewards faith because you have seen him. You have to see him to fellowship with him. You have to see him to talk to him. You have to see him to believe in him. You have to see him to request something of him. It's the ability to see the invisible God by your heart, by your spirit man. The ability to see the invisible God by your intuition, to know that he is here. I believe he is here. That ability is faith. And that faith is exactly what we need to triumph in life, in different things. Everything you desire to do, you've got to first of all believe that you can do it, that is there for you, that the possibility is out there for you. Then when you step out to begin to pursue that dream, that is what is called faith. So a lot of things I can still say about faith, but the Bible says that this is the victory that overcomes the world, even our faith. So faith is the victory, is the very key for us to overcome all circumstances, all difficulties, all challenges that we are facing in life. Because you are facing a challenge which is the contrary of what you want, which is the opposite of what you desire. But by faith, you have to see the opposite. You have to see the contrary. You have to see the thing that is positive, that it will come out. And when you walk towards that thing that you believe that will come out despite the circumstances and the situation that you are facing, that faith, that ability that the negative, the contrary situation will change to the positive, that faith and that the ability to move towards that, walk towards it, is what makes you to be able to achieve when other people fail. And that is what faith is about, living by the things that you don't see and working towards them and attaining results through them, rather than just submitting to the things that are already done by other people, the things that are already obvious. So the just shall live by faith. And the people that become something in life, the high yielding people, are people that always live by faith. They always live by the things that are yet to be done, and they always walk towards these things. But they always give their energy, their power, their efforts to create something that nobody is seeing. They believe in it. That's exactly what Noah did. Noah had never seen a flood before. He had never seen a boat before, but he stepped out by faith. He saw what God told him to do. He saw that ship, and by faith, he built it. And he also knew, he believed God that there would be some rain or some flood coming. And he stepped out, walking towards preserving his family and the whole humanity. And that's why he became a great person. That's why God said he's a man of faith. And that's how Noah was able to enter into the book of Hebrews, the hall of faith, like we say. So I think I will probably stop on this one. I will continue to talk about another aspect of faith tomorrow, which is a little bit different from just faith, but it is also going to be related to faith, and it's going to be able to help all of us to become people of high yielding lifestyle. So if you have not yet joined the mentorship program, please go to sundaydelajablog.com/mentorship, and that's all it needs. You don't need to pay anything. It's free of charge. If you have also not yet sent our WhatsApp number to your relatives and family, or you have not sent their telephone numbers and WhatsApp numbers to us, please go and register and record this WhatsApp number of ours, and we commit to send messages to your family members on daily basis, especially those who don't have the data. Just send their numbers to us. We'll be sending the messages to them on daily basis. And also, for those of you who would like to attend our History Makers training, HMT, we'll be happy to see you. But just write to hmt@godembassy.org. hmt@godembassy.org. Yes, hmt@godembassy.org, and we'll be able to give you all the information. Thank you so much for your time. We will be back tomorrow. Peace.